All right.
We're going to go after money bags today? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know, man. Taste of the Northside, dude. I know he's probably not going to go, but I'm like, that's right up his alley, you know? And bit of nostalgia, I'm just looking back at some of the commercials from back in the day, the Spurs 2003 playoff run.
Yeah.
Just reliving the good old days, shedding a tear for where the team's going right now. I mean, damn, look at how badass the Spurs were back then, going up against the Lakers.
We're
dude.
turning into Cowboy fan.
I'm like, geez.
We're turning into Cowboys fan at this point.
Like how far they digressed, in such a short amount of time. And you know what's funny? The Golden State Warriors, they're right on the cusp of a full-on rebuild, They have some pieces, but their players are aging out,
Joel Embiid's on one leg right now, man. Goodness, he's still so good.
I mean, that Sixers team is scary, dude.
Yeah, the Heat are done.
Yeah, and the other team that was playing yesterday too was going to be the Hawks and the Bulls. And it was cool to see both DeRozan and DeJounte kind of share some kind words to one another, former Spurs. I forgot the name of the kid, but one of the kids over there for the Bulls, man, dropped like a 40-piece McNugget meal.
Look at, oh God. The comments. Happy Fiesta, everybody. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is the Alamo City Sports Cast, coming at you from the Alamo City, San Antonio, Texas, on this, the first official day of Fiesta. Fiesta 2024 just kicked off this morning. I'm trying to get excited about this, Joe. Trying to get excited about this because I have a love-hate relationship with Fiesta.
Well, you know what? Since it is Fiesta, I got to do the...
Yeah, baby. I am not drunk enough to do a proper grito today.
You're going to hear a lot of that going on in Market Square.
Especially if you're at Market Square. That's it. You know where you're not going to hear that?
At your house?
Taste of the Northside.
Oh, God.
Now, before the show started, you were like, oh, Taste of the Northside's tonight. Jeff Garcia is going to be there. Jeff Garcia, Jefe, money bags from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. We joke because, we call him money bags because of that French steak he had that one time with me over Zoom. That was kind of funny. But Taste of the Northside, man, I see a lot of people get excited about it. My good friend Jason Minix gets excited about it.
It's official. It's an official sanctioned event.
I believe it's sponsored by Security Service. And I think it's like $300 to get in.
Your hors d'oeuvres, sir?
Yes, it's fancy Fiesta.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not, to me, a Fiesta event.
What's wrong with it,
I don't think I'll ever go to Taste of the Northside. I mean, I know it's for charity and all that stuff.
$300 isn't that bad of a deal to pay for all the food and drink and stuff that you get over there. Think about it. If you go and pay $300 at a normal NIOSA event, what are you going to really get for $300?
You're right. Chicken on a stick is very expensive.
$20.
Okay. Inflation, baby. All that for a chicken on the stick, which is basically frozen chicken from Walmart that has a little wimpy ass
jalapeno,
flaccid jalapeno on top. Yeah, no, not excited at all, dude. I mean, again, I will do an event. I'm probably going to go to one of the parades. I have friends who have a bunch of tickets to the parades, and I like doing that. I like doing the night parade. The daytime parade, I mean, it's not going to be that bad this year. There have been some years where it's like 95, 100 degrees out there.
It's not that hot right now, know.
But you and I have something in common. Our kids are coming into town. So
today, actually.
So my daughter, Gabby's coming in from Baton Rouge to celebrate Fiesta, hang out with family as well. She's going to Oyster Bake tomorrow. I think I'm going to lay off of Oyster Bake. But there's other events that are going on. This Saturday, we have the carnival going on at the Alamo Dome. I feel a little bit safer about it being at the Alamo Dome. I know it's been at different places over the years.
I liked it back in front of the old police station back in the
day. But it was also kind of sketch. It was too close to neighborhoods. I like it that it's inside of the enclosed area.
Yeah.
You know that no one's going to go crazy inside of an Alamo Dome parking lot.
It's gotten smaller, man.
It has gotten smaller, but that's not bad, man. But Fiesta runs 9 or 10 days. People are going to go out looking for the Fiesta medals.
Fuck that, dude.
Dude, that is a complete waste of money, man. I get it. You're raising money for charity and all that, but why would I spend $100 for something that's going to end up in my junk drawer in my kitchen when it's all said and done? You know why I know that? Because all my other Fiesta medals from back in the day are in there. But people get all excited, and then
be buying that Spurs Jesus medal. Come on, man.
Oh, really? Is there one?
Yeah, he has one with the little alien, and of course, it's himself. He has to always have himself featured somewhere on the medal, dude.
Okay, so again, Fiesta got going today. It is April 18th. Carnival starts at 4 o'clock today, goes until 11 p.m. Taste of the Republic, and then also Taste of the Northside, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's a lot of eating there, man. I guess $300. I've been known to throw down some mad cash sometimes, but my goodness, $300.
It's expensive, dude.
No. Tomorrow, Friday, we have Fiesta de
La Semana Alegre.
Fiesta de los Reyes over at Historic Market Square. Dude, your type over here on the computer is so small.
Well, just to blow it up, dude.
There's an event. There's an event at UTSA from 11 to 4.
Yeah.
Fiesta Flower Show from 2 to 4. Oyster Bake goes from 5 to 11 over at St. Mary's University.
Would you go to Oyster Bake now, depending on who's playing?
Depending on who's playing. Sometimes there's some pretty decent bands out there. Taste of New Orleans, though.
NOLA.
There you go. But I'm actually going to New Orleans next week, so maybe I'll lay off of that one. But that's from 5 to 11 over at Sunken Garden. Again, the carnival gets going. It's going to start later and end later tomorrow, 5 to midnight. So 5 p.m. to midnight tomorrow at the Alamo Dome parking lot C. Tomorrow at 5:30 is Alamo Heights night. I like Alamo Heights night.
That's not bad.
It is not a bad event. It's at the University of the Incarnate Word. So when they say Alamo Heights, you think the 709, right? The 209, rather. But
with the $1 million homes.
Right. No, this is Incarnate Word. It's a pretty dude. I one time went there and it was pouring rain. And they had all this beer there, and they gave the beer away for free.
Nobody's gonna buy it, dude. I mean, you're getting rained out. And not only that, the campus of UIW is so tiny, man.
It is a tiny campus. Tomorrow they're going to have the Ray Feo public crowning at Main Plaza.
Who's the Ray Feo winner this year?
Let's see here.
Because I remember in the past it was like Ernie Zuniga was a Ray Feo one.
Really?
Time.
I did not even know that.
It was about maybe a year or two ago.
It says that they're going to have mariachis, folklorico dancers, and more as they name it. I don't think they've announced it yet. Maybe not.
Maybe.
But again, Fiesta gets going for 9 days. I want to see what's going on Saturday because my daughter's in town, your son's in town.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go, and I don't know if it's going on this Saturday, King William Fair. I haven't been there in forever, man. It's been probably a decade.
Yeah, I don't know if it's this weekend. I think it's next weekend, next Saturday or something like that.
That's brutal.
That's what I want to say.
We're going to end up at the carnival when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm going to go
to
You're right,
it is next weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the carnival, probably go to Market Square this week with my family, and just hang out. I know like I said, my son, he's flying in today around noon, so I got to go pick him up from the airport.
Yeah.
And then we'll just hang out. I know his first stop's always going to be like, want something to eat.
Exactly.
It ain't going to be no Whataburger, I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly. Now, where is he coming in from again?
He's coming in from Kansas. He's over in Wichita, Kansas right now.
Okay.
He's going to be moving, though, if he gets his job promotion from Wichita, Kansas, where his satellite business is, or the office that he's working out of right now, because he's the manager there. And he's going to be moving to Kansas City. And he's talking about maybe wanting me to go to some NFL games with him.
Well, there you go.
We want to go see Mahomes, maybe play Cowboys.
Before they move to Dallas, right?
Yeah, before they move to Dallas, become the Cowboys. But I mean, we want to go see some games, maybe while I'm out there with them.
That's badass. No, I have I know people in Kansas City. They've invited me before to go to a game or two. That's pretty exciting. Right now, I am planning a trip for next week. And I'm a bad planner when it comes to things because
you just go.
I like to just go
wherever it takes you, right? Wherever the day takes you.
Like those concert tickets I have for June.
Yeah,
in Nashville.
Was it the Lovers Tour?
No, I'm not going to that one. I'm going to Charles Eston, who's a country singer.
Okay,
he's also an actor from the TV show Nashville back in the day. I have no one to go with. I have 2 tickets. I have no one to go with. I don't know when I'm going, how I'm going, where I'm staying. I just bought the tickets because they were there. And so the Killers are performing at Jazz Fest of all places.
That's where you're going to go with your daughter, right?
Yeah, so we're going to go over there. So the plan is, and early this morning, I texted my sister and my mom, and I was like, we got to make plans. Like, what are we doing? Because if you guys aren't going, I'm going to fly over there by myself. What I don't want to do is hear, oh, well, we're not going to go after all. And now it's 3 days till the trip, and ticket prices to go to New Orleans like $800. Right?
And you might have gotten like 2 extra rooms or something.
Exactly. So the plan that I think we're going to do is we're going to leave Thursday morning, drive all the way to Lake Charles, which isn't that bad of a drive.
No.
Stretch our legs a little bit, maybe go to the Golden Nugget over there, play for a couple of hours, then make our way over to Baton Rouge. The distance between Baton Rouge and Lake Charles is maybe about an hour and a half.
Yeah. I like going to the Isle of Capri. They used to have that.
They used to have that back in the day before the storms turned it into what was called the Isle of Debris.
Exactly, dude.
That
was on a barge or something.
That was a shady place right there. It was, you were on the dock and you were like technically in the water, so therefore things were a little bit different.
Yeah, it was on a barge. It was like a floating casino.
Yeah. But we're gonna go to Baton Rouge. They have the Le Berge over there, so a lot of people know about Le Berge in Lake Charles.
Le Berge de Luc.
But there's a Le Berge in Baton Rouge. It's actually pretty nice, and it's close to where my daughter lives. And then the next day we'll go to New Orleans, go check out the town, go to Jazz Fest, listen to the music. The Killers are going to be the performers there. The Rolling Stones will be playing there one of the nights, and so will Bruce Springsteen and all these big bands. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing my daughter tonight. Getting the band back together again. Getting all 3 of my kids together.
That's pretty rare to do, and it's also fun. Like when we get older, like we're older now.
Yeah.
We don't really get to see our older kids as much, and when they come in, they're like, "Hey, let's do something." So it's kind of a fun weekend.
That is true. Know? Sam Salinas reaches out and says, "So, Mike, you're willing to just throw money at crap because it's there, but you won't pay for Taste of the Northside?" You know what it is? It's kind of like going to the gym. Okay, the hardest part about going to the gym is what? Going, right? It's not the actual workout itself. It's putting the shoes on and walking through the gym. The hardest part about going on a vacation or planning something is actually buying the tickets, because once you get the tickets, you're pot committed at that point. Now, before we get going into some sports talk, we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to talk about some nostalgia when it comes to the Spurs, a bit of a throwback Thursday that Joe wants to get into. I want to apologize to Joe Garcia because I apparently threw him under the bus with a photo I took yesterday. For those of you who were watching yesterday's podcast or listening to it, the cops came and knocked on the door and stopped our podcast. Now, fortunately, we were about 5 or 10 minutes away from ending anyway. But they're doing a bunch of construction in the neighborhood. Dude, just level the damn neighborhood at this point. Like, what are they doing out there?
This has been a month already, dude.
Level just take down all the houses. So everybody get your stuff, get out. We're gonna level the house.
Yeah.
Maybe build the Spurs arena right here. I don't know.
It's hard to even get in the neighborhood down my street.
And so it's crazy. So I posted a photo of my truck with all the trucks behind it that wanted to get through.
Yeah.
And there was also trucks in front of me that were wanting to get through. I was boxed in.
Exactly.
People were coming out going, "Jimenez, mow your yard."
It's like, that's my yard.
I was like, that's Joe's yard. And people wanted to roast me and make fun of me, but instead they felt guilty in roasting you, but some of them still had it. Chris Gonzalez reaches out to us on our YouTube stream right now and says, "Can we pour some out for Joe's lawn?" Explain yourself, Joe. What's going on with the yard, my man?
We cut the grass like every week, but it rains. Every time it rains, it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. It's like a never-ending battle. I cut the grass last weekend, right? And look, it's already growing again. We got to cut it again.
This last comment from Chris: "How can Joe be Mexican and not have a good yard?"
Bro, I'm trying, man. You know what? One thing that I do need is I need an edger, because that little edger we have now.
Oh yeah, not for that grass.
That little wimpy edger ain't gonna cut it, dude. I've been telling the wife I need to get me a Makita, because I have a Makita electric lawnmower and the batteries are interchangeable. We got like 4 or 6 batteries that came with the kit, and I still got like 2 fresh extra batteries that really don't get used. I'm like, I'll put it in that Makita, edger, and just make short work of it, because that thing is beefy, dude.
Okay, so yes, because your yard looks like it'll fight back. That grass looks like because I have, my neighborhood, we have Bermuda grass, which is basically golf course grass.
We have St. Augustine.
St. Augustine and crabgrass and all that crap will F you up, man.
Yeah, man.
That stuff where you need to put the lawnmower, the gasoline, because back in the day I used to have that, right? I used to have the Craftsman mower, and you have to sit there and go and it just pull, yank on that thing, hit the primer, put some gasoline in there, a little bit of
clean
oil,
the carburetor,
clean it, all
the
that
air filter.
What a pain in the ass that was, dude. And then you
Yes.
smelled like gasoline by the time you got back inside the house.
Hands all greasy.
Yeah, and then you're it feels like you're having a stroke a little bit because you're vibrating afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Your hands are shaking.
So that was back in the day when I
man.
had a house that had St. Augustine. But now with the Bermuda grass in my neighborhood, I can go out there with my little gray my green Ryobi. What is that? Home Depot Ryobi mower that doesn't make any noise.
Yeah.
It cuts the grass like.
Yeah,
it like purrs the entire
you
time.
can barely hear it. Mine does the same thing.
Dude, my mower has a headlight on it, like a big ass headlight on it. I can mow in the middle of the night, and I've done that before. I've mowed my yard at 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m. No one cares because no one can hear it.
Yeah, it's not making all this freaking noise.
No one can hear it. But man, Mario Kovacic is out and says Bermuda grass is ass. It's easy, dude. It's just easy to take care of, man.
Yeah, no, this thing, I don't know, whatever they poured in here when the house was built.
Yeah.
All the houses in the neighborhood have that same shit, dude.
Sith says Mike just wants Joe to be cooked for once. Threw him under the bus. Now, here's the thing. I almost got sued by Chris Leha from MCS General Contracting.
For the whole.
Okay, so I had so my house, I have no one in my backyard, right?
Yeah.
So my backyard, I have no neighbors to the back. It's an elementary school back there. And it's not even the building. It's like the bus loop, and then you've got like the playground, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So when the wind gets going, there is nothing deflecting it to my house.
No trees.
There's nothing to block it. It got bad. It got so bad one time with wind that it actually knocked down my tree, right?
Oh man.
So the tree was maybe only 2 or 3 years old, but still, I mean, it was there and it knocked it down. It pissed me off. And I just yanked it out. We went out there and we yanked out the stump and all that stuff, chopped it down, yanked out the stump, all that. Well, I never filled the hole. And every once in a while, dude, I just walk around the front yard, forget that it's there, and I just step in there. Well, MCS was over at my house building that sidewalk, and they did a fantastic job. I posted photos of this yesterday on Twitter. In fact, we should just bring that up right now.
Yeah.
But it was funny because he was telling me, he goes, dude, I almost broke my ankle in your yard. And I was like, oh my God, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about my hole. So he comes out there and puts a little bit of dirt in there to kind of fill it up. But this is what they did in my house yesterday. If you want to show, this is what they did last week. You see, before all of this, I had uneven gravel there. There was no grass there. I have no gutters. And because of that, what ended up happening was the water would pond there and it would start to erode a little bit. And then the dogs would dig at it.
Yeah.
And it looked like crap. I mean, look how bad it looked, dude. There was a pipe sticking out of the ground from my sprinkler system, right? May it rest in peace. Damn. My dogs yanked it out. So I was so pissed off about this. And I'm looking at my slab. It started to show, right? It started to get exposed. It's like the exposed gums of Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. So I reached out to Chris over at MCS General Contractor, who has sponsored our show several times before. And I said, I need something. He didn't laugh. He was like, you know what? Just build a sidewalk. And then we noticed here that there was a 17-inch drop between the back patio all the way to the ground. So built a landing, got a step right there, and now my doggies love it. Look at my dogs. There's Duncan, part of USOA.
He's the official mascot.
There's Cody, who's not a member, but is Duncan's plus one.
Yeah, look at Duncan, man. He's looking like a G, straight up G right there.
Oh, I know, man. I've been trying to wand his hair out, and now it's in clumps. Now I gotta just really go to town.
Duncan's got some hood in him, dude. He's got some
hood
I know.
I know. Man. He's a gangster dog. He's a gangster. Cody is not very gangster.
No, man, no.
Cody's a lover. He's a lover. No, but the goal with this is to actually have I want to have a concert out there, We have the dirt now in there to help the grass kind of grow.
Then that'll grow quick. Dude.
Yeah, dude. I only had about 30% coverage of grass in my yard, and I'd say now it's about 70%. Get the rest going. Thank you to Chris Leha from MCS General Contracting for hooking us up with all of that and getting going and doing the job right and doing the job fast. Day and a half, they were done.
Yeah.
Day and a half, they were done.
You know what? Let's give some love to Chris, too.
Let's do it.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Diamond hard. If you could show my screen real fast.
Yeah, we're showing it.
This is the hardest dog in the business, baby. You're saying that this dog in street. Look at Cody take a nap. I woke up from a hard ass nap yesterday, and all my dogs were asleep. Duncan was in the front.
Daisy?
Daisy was at the foot of the bed there. Yeah, good times. Good times.
Look at what Chris or Mario Cavazos put in here, should I say.
Did Chris make you a special concrete slab so you can lay some cardboard so you can practice your backspin and other breakdancing skills? Now, I think the one time I offended Leha was when I said, he goes, oh, by the way, in about an hour or two, I mean, some people do this, some people don't. You can put your name on the concrete, and you can write your name on the concrete. And I was like, ghetto.
I'm surprised you didn't do something else, like how the infamous story of how you measured the snow. I'm like, oh God, Mike is gonna do that kind of crap.
Leah says he can't confirm nor deny if we left something in the slab. Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa's body.
Saca la bolsita, Chris.
Sith reaches out, says Kobe is privileged, Duncan is street. Cody.
That's why Duncan's the official mascot of the USOA.
Yeah, and I finally figured out what that was because I had to ask.
Yeah,
it'd been like a month, and I was like, "What the hell is all this, man?"
Oh man, now Leha's gonna get mad at me. Why'd you tell him, bro?
Let's talk about the Eastern Conference playoffs, which kicked off yesterday. The two play-in games. The big news of the day today is that Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat is expected to miss several weeks, which basically means he's done for the season. Jimmy Butler, man, God, what a great player, dude. When that guy is going, he is going strong. But, man, they lost yesterday to the 76ers, 105-104. And it says Jimmy Butler was hurt on the final play of the first quarter. Philadelphia still won that game, right?
Yeah, it was a
Joel
good
Embiid on one leg. It went down to the very, very last minute of the game. Some pretty good defensive stops down the stretch. But right now, Miami's going to host the Chicago Bulls on Friday night. The winner is going to become the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. They're going to go nowhere, dude. They're going to go nowhere. And the Miami Heat, I mean, keep in mind what they do. They went from being a play-in team to all the way to the NBA Finals.
No.
And the hope was that could happen again. Lightning could strike twice.
Not with Jimmy Butler out.
No,
dude.
not at all, man. But the Bulls should be advancing. They should be going on. But again, they're playing this game in Miami. You still have Bam Adebayo there. You still have that potential there. But the big question that people had yesterday was about Joel Embiid. Because when Embiid came back from injury, I mean, he missed a few months. When he came back from injury, he looked good. But he's not looking as good anymore. He's on one leg out there. And it's funny because should they just shut his ass down?
They're not going to shut him down. They're going to still put him out there. And you know what? The 76ers are still a good team, so I would expect them to at least advance maybe to the second round.
Yeah.
And that's probably all she wrote.
Well, I mean, they're going to play now the Knicks, right? So Joel Embiid yesterday, 23 points and 15 rebounds. Dramatic win, 105-104 over the Heat. To get that 7 spot, but the problem is that Joel Embiid has no defensive moves right now.
He's all offense.
He's all offense. He'll get the boards and whatnot, but you can actually attack Joel Embiid, which typically you can't, because he'll just swat that crap away. But Joel Embiid has no lateral movement, can't go left or right, can't go up or down. He's just standing there like a tree, and you can't do anything. And the thing is that Maxey didn't play so well yesterday. The belief is that the Knicks are going to move on pretty quickly over the Sixers because when healthy, the Sixers are the better team.
But here's the thing. The Knicks are cursed, dude.
That's it. That is it. It's the curse of Stephen A. Smith is what that is, man. Whoever Stephen A. Smith cheers for, they go down hard, man. And today, it was so annoying waking up this morning and watching Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I don't even watch him no more, dude.
Well, it happens every year. It happens every year where the ESPNs of the world, especially ESPN. Yeah. I'm not going to say FS1 does this, but ESPN does this, where they gravitate towards the big market teams.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, look at those Lakers. I know those Lakers have lost 8 in a row to the Denver Nuggets, but don't be surprised if LeBron and AD go over there and beat up on Joker and whatnot. The Nuggets aren't as good as the years past.
Yeah. And they get big old Kendrick Perkins to come out there and spit his trash takes, his garbage.
Lakers have no chance in this series. They've lost to the Nuggets 8 in a row for a reason. It's because the Nuggets are head and shoulders above the Lakers, and it's a bad matchup for the Lakers. That is the thing. The Nuggets are a better team. They've got better players.
They're a deeper team,
better coached. Dude, they have no chance. But we're going to hear this all the time on Sports Center. We're going to hear it all the time on First Take and all of that stuff.
Really, what are the Lakers going to do? I mean, you're going to have
a 39-year-old LeBron James is going to go in there and beat up on Joker.
Anthony Davis is going to get injured again. I mean, that's
what's going to happen.
First game, first quarter.
And Reeves will come back down to earth and all of that stuff. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep. 5 games.
Yeah, they might win one at home.
They'll win one at home.
Yeah,
be 5 games. And Mario Cavazos agrees. Nuggets in 5. Now, Tavarius disagrees, says the Lakers bench is deeper than the Nuggets.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I'm not 100% sure about that either, but that series is going to get going this weekend. Again, last night, also, the Bulls beat up on the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, as the TNT crew likes to say, has gone fishing.
Hot Atlanta, man. They done.
Oh, I know, man. And yesterday was all about Kobe White, dude. Kobe White looked like a video game cheat code yesterday. Just the moves he was making. He was doing pirouettes in the middle of the lane.
Look at that.
Going through 3 people. Mario Cavazos says Kobe White looked like Patty Mills' son. That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
I like that.
I mean, who would have thought, man? I mean, Kobe White's a good player, man. Yeah. I mean, he was a lottery pick back in the day, but 42 points yesterday on 15 of 21 shooting. Also had 9 rebounds and 6 assists.
Gee, look at him, dude.
There he is right there. The number 7 overall pick in 2019. Kobe White.
Damn.
The Patty Mills reference is nice. I like that.
It kind of does, dude.
I like it.
A bit of Patty Mills in there.
Man, but if Patty Mills was 6'5" like Kobe White, man, that would have been special. DeRozan last night with 22 points on 10 of 19 shooting. They go on, and Atlanta goes fishing. The big dunk, I mean, there was a massive dunk there by DeJounte Murray, who had 30 points yesterday. Trae Young had an off night, and all I saw from Spurs fans last night was, you see, when he's needed in the playoffs, when he's in a play-in, Trae Young didn't have the fire, didn't have the inspiration.
What are they talking
Shut the
about,
hell
dude?
up. He played 43 minutes, man. He got to the line 13 times. He had 10 assists. I know he had 6 turnovers, but he had 22 and 10. Don't make it sound like Trae Young sucks, dude. Don't make it sound like Trae Young is not a top 30 player or a top 25 player in the NBA.
He would make this team better.
He would make this team so much better. Just so much better.
Same thing goes for Kawhi Leonard. All the Spurs fans hate him. He's the most hated person or ex-Spur in history. But if he came back to the team, he would make him better.
He would.
I mean,
he would.
He would.
And okay, so what I think Spurs fans are doing is they're talking themselves into we're not doing anything.
They want the consolation prize.
They're talking themselves into we like the team we got. Right?
No, come on.
Because
man.
it costs money. Think about all the players who have changed hands over the past few years. You know, even DeJounte Murray was worth 2 first-rounders in a swap, right? If you wanted a player like Conley, that costs a lot. Rudy Gobert costs a lot. If you're going to trade for a star, it costs capital, and typically that capital is in the form of draft capital. And it's so funny because you see these Spurs fans looking at these draft picks like they're gold. And do I have to remind people that some of these first round draft picks that we've had over the last 5 or 6 years have been Luka Samanic?
He's gone. Lonnie Walker, gone. We had Josh Primo. Shemezi Metu, gone. So I'm like,
I mean, so I would rather have a known commodity for several years than to try to like somehow have a star that we
you
draft.
left one name out.
What's that name?
Primo.
Oh, I did say Primo.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone in a bad way, dude.
And then, or they stick around and we don't know what we got.
Yeah.
You know, what do we have with Jeremy Sohan? FFI, no, man. We have a decent defender who can't make a bucket half the time.
They let Trey Lyles go, and he still shows that he had some value.
Zach Collins was a lottery pick a handful of years ago.
Why they extended that, brother's beyond me, dude.
So just because you have these lottery picks or you have these, and they're not even all like unprotected. The Atlanta ones are, but like Chicago's is top 10 protected, right? And you've got Charlotte's top 14 protected. Just get rid of them.
Sam Salinas, stop stating the obvious, show. Let us hate on Kawhi. Y'all can hate on Kawhi all you want, man. I'm just saying. Dude, if he came back, he would make the team better. But that's the same thing for any of these bona fide, like, you know, NBA stars out there. They would make the team better. But are the Spurs actually going to do something? You know, like that meme with the poke the stick, do something.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to do? Just what James Pledger did. He went ahead and put some videos out on social media. And he says the Spurs front office are probably just going to stand pat,
do nothing.
We're all in. The Cowboys.
They're doing the Cowboys way.
We're all in.
And we're going to next year. We're going to be, you know, a 28 to 30 win team.
Yeah, I would hope they would do something in the offseason. That's the hope of Spurs fans. But don't be surprised if they do nothing.
D'Lo, Zach Collins should be pick and rolling with Jimmy Fredette next year out there with the Shanghai Sharks.
I remember Spurs fans were so hell bent. Oh, Jameer Fredette, he's going to be the second coming of, I don't know, another three-point shooter or a great guy out there that can get buckets. Shanghai Sharks, here we come. Sharks.
I saw a very nice, you know, we're talking about the Cowboys and we're talking about the Cowboys and the Spurs, right? There was an article that I saw earlier today. I can't find it, but
look at Tavares. He says Brian Wright ain't doing nothing according to Mike Finger of the Express News. It wouldn't surprise me. I think they want to hold on to what they have and just, you know, kind of even kill things right now and just hang on to this money that they have and wait to see what happens next season.
Article coming out from Trilly Donovan, who's a college basketball writer. If you want to show this on the screen here.
Sure.
The tweet says Jerry Jones is reportedly offering double whatever the Kentucky commits were making to come to Arkansas. Jerry Jones is an Arkansas booster. We talked about this yesterday.
Some big money, dude.
And reportedly helped them hire John Calipari last week. John Calipari coming over from Kentucky. It's funny because we talked about this on the show yesterday. And I don't think it made as big of a deal as most people made it out to be.
No.
Like I was reading the article. I was thinking to myself, why isn't this bigger news? Like this should have legs. And it was like, no, you know, just, oh, by the way, John Calipari is leaving for Arkansas.
Yeah.
And the question should have been, well, why? Why is he leaving for Arkansas? Oh, well, he's making $2 million more than any other coach. Okay. But
what's
still why? But what's the incentive?
Exactly.
Oh, there's a $5 million bucket of money that he's going to be able to give out as NIL. Oh, okay. Well, who's funding this?
Jerry
Jones is funding this.
Be there with his toothpick. Come play for Arkansas.
Tyson Foods is funding this. Walmart is funding this.
Oh,
dude,
God.
Walmart is getting in on the mix. And now Jerry Jones saying, we'll double. So it's beyond $5 million. We'll double.
Damn.
Dude, go to Vegas right now. Put down money on Arkansas winning the 2025-2026 national championship.
What are they going to say? Arkansas, the football program fueled by Walmart, Jerry Jones, Tyson's Food. You know, I'm like,
they have all these logos on there. But what's so funny is that Cowboy fans are looking at this and getting pissed off in the comment section going, how are you spending money on Arkansas's basketball team, but not the actual Cowboys?
Because Jerry says we like the team we have.
Jerry's going all in with Arkansas.
Maybe that's what he meant. I'm going all in, but with Arkansas.
And not even with our football team. With the basketball team. What is he doing, man? What is he doing?
Jerry,
so
man.
it's crazy because when I saw this article, I was thinking to myself, how is this not a bigger deal? How is this not? I mean, this is collusion in a way. How is this not a bigger deal? Now, as time has gone on, because this was first reported like 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
and it perked my ears up.
Like, how do they even know about all this kind of stuff?
I brought it up a couple of weeks ago, and then I brought it up again yesterday, and now it seems like more and more people are going, wait a minute. This is actually a bigger story.
Is this collusion
than what it is? But this is the NIL. This is the NIL.
Maybe, I mean, if it's within the law, I mean, they're not breaking the law. They're doing everything they can to bring talent in, So
again, the article by burnerball.com, Trilly Donovan, the author, saying that he is getting rumblings and reports that Jerry Jones is going to double the NIL of whatever Kentucky commit goes to Arkansas. Not any player, but the ones that were going to Kentucky, the one and done, the future NBA lottery picks. And right now, you've got 2 players from Kentucky that were freshmen this year.
Yeah,
neither of them were starters, by the way. Reed Shepard and Rob Dillingham, who are supposedly going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
both of them.
Look at Mario Cavazos, dude. It's fans like this that are the diehards. Mario Cavazos, puro pinche Cowboys a la verga. They say,
Yeah.
And every year it's that puro pinche Cowboys, and then they get to the play or the wild card, lay an egg.
Yeah. STP 11 says Trae Young will be a Spur on July 4th. It's going to be the best July 4th ever. There are articles out there suggesting that Trae Young could be in play for the Spurs. It's going to cost a lot, man. Essentially, the Spurs are going to have to give up draft capital, which is basically the 3 that they got for the DeJounte Murray trade. They're probably going to have to give up more than just that. Probably a couple of players, maybe a Sohan, maybe a Keldon Johnson, a Zach Collins, maybe a Devin Vassell. If you want a star player, you got to make it happen that way.
Look at this. D'Lo had put 2 good comments in here.
Actually, I was actually going to mention that one real fast because Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Kens5.com has an article about this on Kens5.com. He posted on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone just about an hour ago, talking about how Klay Thompson, according to bookies.com, is, the odds are out as to what his next team is going to be. The favorite is to return on a friendly deal to Golden State.
Yeah.
But if he bolts to find another team, one of the top teams listed on there on bookies.com happens to be the San Antonio Spurs. And there are projections out there that his true worth out there is about 18 to 20 million per year. Of course, he says he wants a max deal, but no one's going to give him a max deal.
No.
But go to Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs. Let's give him some love.
Yeah. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Again, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. And the headline says it all. Should the Spurs consider Klay Thompson? The answer is yes. If it's 18 to 20 million, yes. Any more than that, no, I'm good.
I mean, what are they paying Zach Collins right now?
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you're going to pay him Zach Collins money, if you're going to pay him money that you would get from a Devin, well, it's like 8 million less than Devin Vassell. Yeah. I mean, it's basically Keldon Johnson money.
He can come off the bench and he can shoot, give you buckets. Why not? I mean, he's a proven player. He can give you some quality minutes there. Probably give you more production than, like you say, Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Spurs need shooters, man, and that's the thing. And
bucket getters.
The Spurs need an identity.
Yeah.
They need to have an identity
Look
as to
at
what
this.
they're doing.
This is funny. D'Lo puts, apparently Spurs have the best odds to trade for Steph if they were to trade him in the scenario where the Golden State Warriors want to get, some value for Steph,
Right.
and they trade him. Maybe San Antonio would be a destination. I don't know if that's likely to happen, but
Yeah,
if it does,
I haven't seen those odds. I saw that all over Twitter last night and this morning, but I haven't seen the odds as to like why that is so.
yeah.
Now, there are some trade partners that you have out there that you're friendly with, right? So, for example, the Spurs would always trade with Brooklyn because there was a lot of former Spurs over there. Sean Marks was over there back in the day. The Spurs have done a lot of deals in the past with Boston, right? Because back in the day, the Spurs had people that were over there. Golden State would be, the connection between Pop and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr has that connection with the Spurs, former player. So I can see that potentially happening. I don't think it's very likely because I think Steph Curry is going to want to end his career in Golden State unless he wants to go chase a ring.
Oh, look at what Matt Lerman said. He said, "Did you all watch the Kevin O'Connor Wemby interview that came out?"
Yeah, I saw some of it. I saw some of the headlines. I didn't see the full interview. But one of the good things about it was they asked the question if Wemby was surprised about how good he did his rookie season. He basically said, no. He goes, if you believe in yourself, if you have confidence in yourself and you know your skill set, you're going to do all right. That's a very, very, very wonderful thing to hear from a Victor Wembanyama because you and I have mentioned before that the reports that came down last year were saying that Wemby is nothing like Tim Duncan. Wemby is nothing like David Robinson.
He's his own thing.
He is more in the vein of a Kevin Garnett. He's more in the vein of a Kobe Bryant. He's a little bit more sure of himself, and it's not arrogance. I thought those two players were kind of arrogant. It's more of maybe a hybrid of a.
He's a better version of Porzingis.
Well, no, I'm talking about just like mentality wise. Yeah. Somewhere between Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, if there's a middle ground, a Tim Duncan and a Kobe Bryant, if there was a middle ground, that is where Wemby appears to be.
Yeah,
you can tell the confidence is there. You can tell that he has
that competitiveness, like Kevin Garnett.
And when he checked himself back into the game back in December,
he told Coach Pop, "F your feelings."
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's my guy right there. That's my guy. Yeah. And there's a competitive fire in there that's great for him to go out there. And I mean, keep in mind, he was playing ball in France last year.
He's playing with men,
but people were like, "Well, the rules are different."
Yeah, those guys over there, they play dirty, dude.
And it's strange because you see the USA Basketball 2024 team, which got unveiled over the past few days. They made the announcement as to who's going to be on the team. Why do the NBA players play poorly over there? It's because the ball game is different, man.
You can get the ball off the rim. You can do all sorts of different stuff.
The lane is smaller. The court is smaller. They actually call traveling. They don't give away. Offensive players don't get away with murder in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
That's why whenever you see Giannis or Luka Doncic come to the U.S., they always say it's easier over here. They let the offensive players do everything. The court's wider. The ball is easier to shoot.
Yeah.
It's just easy. There's a different ball. It's a different court dimension, different rules.
Yeah, the way you're not getting your head taken off, man.
And that's why the NBA players go over there to FIBA rules, and they suck.
Oh yeah, they're not used to it.
They're not used to it. So you have the team of Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum. I have to ask you this question, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it just me, or am I unpatriotic by saying this? Do you kind of wish they lose? Because I remember back in 2004 when Manu led Argentina to the gold medal. And Team USA got the bronze, right? Because they beat USA in the semis.
Yeah.
I was cheering for Argentina.
Argentina was a damn good team, man. That team was stacked.
It was stacked. But I mean, the other side had Tim Duncan and had LeBron James and had, all of these different players.
Yeah. But the thing is that those players didn't live up to the billing.
Right.
It's
a different game, man. It's a different game. I like to see the other countries do well against Team USA.
Yeah, it goes to show that the disparity between the United States and everybody else around the world, it's all but dissolved now.
Yeah,
The team's caught up. The other side of the world's caught up.
and then also you have these other teams, man. They've been playing with each other for
years,
man.
yeah.
They grew up together. Like these 12 players right here, Booker and Curry and Davis and Durant, Edwards and Halliburton and Holiday and all that. These are players that are between the ages of 21, 22, all the way to 39.
Yeah.
They're barely on first name basis with these guys. I mean, they see each other on the court, and maybe they go to various events or have the same agent, right? But they didn't grow up together.
Didn't go to school together and none of that stuff.
That 2004 team with Manu, dude, all those guys played ball together for like a decade before they went to the Olympics.
Look at Matt Lerma. He's rooting for France in basketball.
I am too, baby. Wemby, baby.
Who wouldn't want to see Wemby do good?
You know what? I want to see Team Poland do well.
Oh, yeah.
With Jeremy Sohan.
Oh, you'll probably give him shit. Oh, look, he plays better with Team Poland than he does with the Spurs.
He's playing better with the FIBA ball.
He can shoot over there. Why can't he do that here? I mean, I can hear you already, Mike.
Mario reaches out and says that he cheered for Becky Hammond while she played for Russia. Anything is possible. Jeez. Dude, the fact that she was not allowed on Team USA, she was blackballed from Team USA, man. She was so good.
She was, but the truth of the matter is she was making more money over in Russia,
And people started, gave her crap over there. There are certain players that do get blackballed from this. Isaiah Thomas famously was like, why wasn't I part of the Dream Team in 1992?
You know why he wasn't?
And
it was because of Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson kind of put the word out there not to get him. And then they kind of made up and made, I guess they came to terms. Overall, that hurt, but that hurt is still there.
Yeah.
It's like Isaiah Thomas has all these other accolades. He was just never invited to come play with Team USA.
Dude, I used to love watching Isaiah Thomas play. I think that guy is so underrated. I know he's a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, and he's revered.
Yeah.
But his game was so good. And Joe Dumars, man, back in the day, if you were to say Jimenez,
he was a dog, man.
When you were 15 years old, 1992, who were your favorite players? Yeah, the Spurs had David Robinson and Sean Elliott, all that stuff. And before that, I was a Willie Anderson guy. But, man, I used to love watching Joe Dumars. And Joe Dumars and Kevin Johnson were my guys back in the day. But we were talking about a Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
You were watching something involving the Spurs and Steve Nash back in the day. The Robert Horry hip check, the infamous hip check. What was that about?
Infamous hip check. Yeah, so this is going back to, I don't know, this 4 years ago where Bill Simmons had done a sit-down interview with Steve Nash. And it says, Steve Nash regrets not shooting more threes, and it's Bill Simmons' book of Basketball 2.0. It's on The Ringer. You can go check this out on YouTube. So in this whole interview that he had with Steve Nash, because I was looking at old Spurs commercials and, hype videos that they're doing for back in the day when the 03 playoff run for the Spurs. And that's when they played the Phoenix Suns. And they asked Steve Nash, what did you think about the Robert Horry hip check? And he was giving his take on it. But in that whole thing there, he was like, I wish I would have gotten up, because I was working on my guns, But he says he overplayed that too. He's like, yeah, he hip checked me, but, he kind of flailed his arms and whatnot. And he's like, he took a page out of the Spurs playbook because he's like, for better or for worse, I respected the heck out of the Spurs because they became masters of overselling the hits and all that, like Manu with the flop and whatnot. He goes, it was great basketball theater,
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, I admired them for doing that, He goes, but the Spurs were like, kind of doing dirty plays here and there, and they would get away with it. But he was saying like he wished he shot more threes in that series against the Spurs, that maybe that could have been the difference in the game. And he was kind of saying like, the Suns were ahead of their time, as far as the way that they played offense, and they just played a fast-paced offense. And he's like, now looking back on that, he's like, maybe we should have doubled down and just played even faster, and got smaller.
You're right.
Because, I mean, they were kind of the blueprint for what is happening now, the advent of the small ball, the up-tempo offense and all that. I mean, I could go as far as saying maybe Steve Nash was playing in the wrong era. He was too soon,
I remember where I was at when the hip check happened. I was not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in front of the TV watching the Spurs play a playoff game.
Yeah.
But my wife at the time wanted me to take her and the kid, Gabby, who's now in Baton Rouge, to Corneyval because we lived in Helotes.
Yeah.
So we went out to Corneyval, the fairgrounds right across the street from O'Connor High School, and they set up this huge screen TV. It was like a movie theater screen.
Yeah, huge
of the game. And every time we'd go around, I'd make a point to like get back in front of it, you know. And right around that time, you know, I had won some stuffed animals, you know, from I'd knocked down that jumper from that, you know,
the little
rim.
hoop. Yeah.
I had got that big old prize and all that stuff. And I'm making my way over and I'm watching the game, and I saw that hip check happen, and I freaked out, man. I freaked out because that's something that you wouldn't want to have another team do to your guy.
Yeah.
But it was so smart. It was so smart because he knew, Robert Ory knew this is only going to cost me a technical foul, and it's going to cost them players because our guys are so disciplined that they're not going to run onto the court. And what did you see? Was it Amari Stoudemire? Was that the one who ran onto the court? Yeah. Oh, my God.
That was Robert Ory going like that meme.
Yeah. Spurs go on to win that series 4-2, then beat the Jazz in the Western Conference Finals.
That was such a great series, dude.
And then swept the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 4th ring.
Yeah.
The 4th of 5. We were talking earlier about how Spurs fans are quickly becoming Cowboy fan. We're quickly becoming Cowboy fan.
Yeah, no lies there, man. But you know, I was looking at these videos because it's going to back and looking at a bit of nostalgia of when the Spurs were just so good at what they did. They were always in that conversation of one of the teams that you would think is going to make it at the end and be in the NBA Finals. You know, from that '99 season all the way up until even like 2014, 2015. I mean, 2014 they won it, even going to like 2015. And just didn't happen anymore. The Spurs had some missed opportunities there, injuries and whatnot, and the infamous Manu fouling Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, that hack from the back.
I was like, and Coach Pop was like, he couldn't really get mad at Manu because that's Manu's game. That's his style, and Manu just cannot not contest that shot. It's just in him, so that's the good and the bad you got with him.
Now, speaking of Manu, I think it was Matt Lerma earlier yesterday who posted. It might have been Matt. So if it wasn't Matt, I apologize. But there was an interview that was done involving, it was LeBron James talking about, and JJ Redick talking about that 2013 Ray Allen shot.
Oh, the infamous.
And who was to blame for that? And, as Matt pointed out, Pop takes a lot of heat for keeping Tim Duncan out of the game for that play, which, by the way, deservedly so.
As one of the most clutch plays ever.
It's one of the most clutch plays ever. I mean, he wasn't even there to guard the inbounds, wasn't there for the rebound. The idea that you have this guy that went to the all defensive team, 10 plus years, was out off the court for that play is stupid. And that is the dumbest thing that Pop has ever done.
No,
by the way. But we won in 2014, and it was sweeter because of the loss.
But they could have been maybe back-to-back champs.
Could have been. A lot of Spurs fans go, well, we wouldn't have won in 2014 if it wasn't for 2013. No, we probably would have won anyway.
Yeah.
Who's to say that we weren't going to win in 2014? That's illogical for me to wrap my head around. I understand that there was the fire there of we need to go back over there and get revenge. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if they had won in 2013, it's the same team that came back in 2014.
Yeah.
You tell me the beautiful game would not have existed.
It would have still been there. I got a good question for you, though. I know Spurs fans will hate me for saying this.
Yeah.
But whose shot was better? The Memorial Day Miracle by Sean Elliott or the Ray Allen corner three to go ahead and push the Heat into that game 7?
It's the Ray Allen three.
I mean,
because it was an NBA Finals game. The other one was not even the finals.
It was in the playoffs, yeah.
But the JJ Redick, as I'm posting right now, this is from his podcast, was saying, is the person to blame for Ray Allen being open? Was it really Manu Ginobili? Because Manu fell on the play.
Oh, I remember that.
Because Manu was the one tasked with guarding Ray Allen. At the end, you see,
and that's when the switch occurred.
You see Tony Parker. Well, he was going for a rebound.
Yeah,
and he and JJ and LeBron are talking about
it. There it is. There he's falling.
He falls
and
down.
There goes Tony.
And the question is, what is Manu doing trying to get a rebound over Chris Bosh? I had never considered that before. I will still say that it shouldn't have been Manu there trying to get the rebound. It should have been a guy with the jersey number 21 named Tim Duncan. So I will still say I get what JJ's saying in light of all things, but it never should have happened that way because it should have been Tim Duncan grabbing that board over Chris Bosh.
Look at Seth. He says Elliott's was cleaner, but Ray Allen's was more important as far as the comparison.
Yeah, true. But one of the things about it, though, is that the Sean Elliott one was great about it. The best play made on that was that the referee didn't mess up.
Yeah, true enough.
The referee did not call him out of bounds.
He was right there.
His entire half of his foot was out of bounds, but he was on his tippy toes the entire time.
He didn't touch the line.
For the official to see that happened in real time is remarkable. Remarkable. That is the best officiating you will ever see in an NBA game.
And what is it, like just about an inch or something less?
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have just put his bottom of his foot down, that would have been the difference. Oh, doesn't count. Out of bounds. Hell of a shot, dude. It's good to kind of, I guess, therapeutic to talk about the good old days.
Yeah.
And hope that at some point in time that this team will return to that greatness once again. Now, we might never ever see the advent of the beautiful game now in today's NBA.
Tall tale time.
All right.
Spurs 99. 22-year-old Michael Jimenez was at the game. Spurs won the finals. Or we didn't win the finals there. It ended up going to New York. But it was the last game. We knew it was going to be the last game. Made out with some girl in the elevator of the parking lot.
Off
of Houston Street.
Oh my!
Made our way over from the Alamo Dome. Yeah, man. Everyone was celebrating, man. Everyone was celebrating. It didn't go any further than that, but still, good times.
Oh, look at
I just thought about that for some reason.
He says, I was at the AT&T Center watch party. Had to take a long walk around the arena after that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
It's brutal, dude.
That Ray Allen shot, dude. That was the dagger. I remember my kids even remember. I got so pissed off. I threw my hat at the TV and everything. We're at my cousin's house, too. We're at my cousin's house, and we're all watching the game, right? Outside, family barbecue, all the family together. There are like 20 of us there, maybe more. And we're all wearing our Spurs gear, and everybody's in unison is taking their hats off and throwing it against the TV, yelling and screaming these obscenities to Coach Pop.
Dude, I hadn't felt so bad watching a sporting event since the Houston Oilers lost the 35-3 lead against the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that was brutal. I remember watching that in real time, man. I watched that game.
Yeah. Hey, let's get to a conversation about Caitlin Clark because she's been a member of that Indiana WNBA team for the Indiana Fever for about 48 hours. And already some nonsense going on, man. First, according to TMZ.com, TMZ Sports, Caitlin Clark has blocked Antonio Brown on Twitter after some inappropriate comments.
That's probably a good thing, man. I mean, Antonio Brown, somebody needs to take the phone away.
Basically talking about her privates, basically.
Oof.
Yeah. And I mean, what in the actual F? Who would be associated with him for that? I mean, I'm not even going to go on about it, but was talking about her privates.
Yeah, the guy's he's unhinged, dude.
And then meantime, you have this journalist from Indianapolis who got in trouble. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
Okay, so there's a reporter. So she's being introduced to the crowd over there, the Indiana media, right?
Yeah.
And there's a reporter who follows this team who was trying to have an interaction with her.
Caitlin
Clark, right? And apparently it didn't go well. Okay, I'm trying to get the guy's name over here.
Maybe was he being like
Greg Doyle.
Over aggressive or
Greg Doyle? No. He was mentioning the fact that if you see what she does on the court, she does the heart symbol with her hands.
Yeah.
You see Taylor Swift do the heart symbol as well. And was talking about the fact that, hey, you do that a lot. And she goes, well, I do that every game.
Yeah, it's her thing.
It's her thing. And the reporter came back to her and said, well, if you start doing that to me, we'll get along just fine.
Oh, God.
And it's the middle of a press conference, and she just gives him a look of like,
you creepy old.
What the hell did you just say? And he has since apologized, saying that it was a bad attempt at humor. And he goes on to say that it was a clumsy and awkward exchange. I sincerely apologize. Please know that my heart literally and figuratively was well-intentioned. I will do better. And he talks about how whenever he talks to athletes, he tries to get them to laugh a little bit, to try to make them feel a little bit at ease. It was brutal, dude. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, he shot his shot in front of everybody, dude.
And, Tim Gonzalez says that creepy old reporter, I don't even think he's old.
He just had the old creepy reporter vibes.
Yeah, he did. Now, I'm sure he's my age, right?
Yeah.
But when I think of like an old reporter, I think
60s.
of like 60s. I'm looking at photos of him. He probably looks mid 40s.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not cool.
He's
man.
old, but he's not old.
I mean, why would you say that? I was like thinking out loud. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Those moments. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Oh, well, he just released an entire column about it.
Jeez.
He says, Caitlin Clark, the headline says, Caitlin Clark, I'm so sorry. On Wednesday, I was part of the problem.
Yeah.
And it goes on. Let me read a little bit of it. It says, I'm devastated to realize that I'm part of the problem. I screwed up Wednesday during my first reaction with the number 1 overall draft pick, Caitlin Clark. What happened to me was the most me thing ever in one way. I'm sort of known locally for having awkward conversations with people and asking brashly conversational questions. Goes on to say that he's done things with weird conversations with other athletes in the past.
Well, that's a you thing, brother.
But notice something about all those names that I've mentioned. He names all these people that he's had funny interactions with. He says they're all men.
Ouch.
He goes, I realized I did wrong. And he says that he went through the emotions of denial and anger and all that stuff. And he just basically says it was ignorance. And it goes on to say that he apologizes. And okay, I don't think that what he said was, I think sometimes you hear somebody say something stupid and you think to yourself, what an asshole, right? But when I heard him say it, I got the feeling that he wanted to get those words right back out from out of his mouth, like he had gone too far and he knew it. When I heard him speak, I didn't think that he was trying to be a creepy old man.
Yeah.
I don't think that he was trying. I think he was trying to be funny.
But it was not a funny joke.
But it wasn't a funny joke, and it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
And I believe him when he says that he wasn't trying to bad intentions. Because there's some people who make apologies.
Yeah.
A lot of them politicians, a lot of them journalists, a lot of them whatever, where I go, no, man, that's your real attitude.
Yeah.
With him, I didn't catch that vibe. The way he said it.
It was just a bad joke.
It was just a bad joke, man.
And look at Matt Lerman brings up a good point here, man, in the comments. He's asking if Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, are they the WNBA's version of Magic and Bird?
They could be. It's a very good point, Matt. I know Angel Reese was on Twitter earlier this morning saying that she needs a new nickname, and she's asking for people to give her one because at LSU she was known as Bayou Barbie, and she says she wants to have one for Chicago that is just as funny and that is just as marketable. And people are reaching out, giving her different nickname choices out there.
That's funny you're talking about that because Sith, I saw what he put on the X the other day, and he was asking if he wants to do podcasting now, right?
Yeah.
Should he change his name because Sith is kind of a Disney property because they own Star Wars. So
yeah,
maybe we have to find a new name for him. We'll put it out there.
And sometimes the name comes to you. Why am I called MJ Acquired Taste?
Yeah.
It's because I was referred to as the Acquired Taste of my old radio show. Someone called in and said that, and we embraced it and ran with it.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about Bird and Magic, I can see that. The problem is that
it would have to be on a grand scale, like an epic playoff showdown, you know?
Okay, so controversial statements, potentially. Caitlin Clark is more Bird than Angel Reese is Magic.
Okay.
Magic was a dynamic guard, and they didn't even play the same position. I mean, she's a low post player for the most part. She bangs bodies down low. Angel Reese is a good player, but there's a reason why she went number 7 in the draft as opposed to number 3 or 4. It's because she doesn't have the offensive game. Most of her points are putbacks.
Yeah,
putbacks and free throws and transition.
I mean, Caitlin's a bucket getter. She's the next, well, the NBA's or WNBA's version of Steph. You know,
Caitlin, Steph, and Angel Reese is more Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically it.
No lies detected.
So that's basically it. But I was thinking about it, and I'm so happy for the WNBA because it's taken so long for people to care.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons for it. One is the talent is there. 2 is the rivalries there. 3 is that college basketball for men's has gotten to be so boring that we start paying attention to the women's side. The players are again, controversial to say, but it means something for marketing dollars. They're attractive. Caitlin Clark, I'm not going to say that she's a hottie, but she's not unattractive. Angel Reese is a very attractive woman. You know, you saw all these other people. Dude, when Paige Beckers gets into the NBA, WNBA, it's going to be another wave because Paige Beckers is hysterically funny, TikTok savvy. The girl can dance, which is weird. I saw all these TikToks yesterday about Paige Beckers.
Yeah.
Who are like, she's got to be at least 50% black, at least 25% black. You can't tell me she's all white, is what all these TikToks are saying.
Moves.
She's got swagger. And it's fun to see, man. It really is fun to see. I don't know if you're familiar with Paige Beckers and her game, but Paige Beckers is. I'm gonna show her on TikTok.
Oh, I like that. I think I've seen this before. Yeah,
they're like she's got style.
Yeah,
she's TikTok savvy. She's Instagram savvy.
She's got the whole package there. You know, she knows how to market herself very well.
Yeah, now she'll be there next year to get drafted. Oh, see people coming out going, she got the Riz, baby. She got the Riz.
Oh, I like this.
This page. Oh, she talks trash. This was her back in high school.
Damn.
She's got game, dude.
She got some handles, man.
One of the best players in college basketball right now. She's next. She's the next coming of Caitlin Clark. Now, she's not going to be shooting threes like Steph Curry, like Caitlin does, but she's coming around. Chris Gonzalez saying that Clark and Reese are more like LeBron and Carmelo.
And look we have a good comment here from Tim Gonzalez. He says,
"Yeah, Haley Van Lith of LSU is now going to TCU."
Yeah,
wasn't a good fit for her with the Tigers, not at all. She entered the transfer portal the other day, right at the end of the season. We were talking about earlier. We mentioned Taylor Swift. Did you know that her new album got leaked, and apparently she's not confirming or denying? Whenever I hear that something's been leaked, I think to myself, it's BS, right? They did it themselves. But again, the new album is apparently going to be released sometime this month. But it's supposed to drop on Friday. But apparently some songs got leaked out, and people are kind of saying that it's a little bit awkward that she's talking about another ex-boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend that wasn't even very long. It was very short-lived. But Taylor's new album comes out. I wonder how much is going to be part of the Eras Tour, because Eras Tour is coming back to the United States. That's the longest tour of all time, by the way.
She's making money.
She's in Europe right now. She'll be in New Orleans in October. That's, I believe, the last stop is New Orleans. And my daughter and I plan to be over there.
You know what? That's a smart move by her, though. The tour comes back, right, to America.
Yeah.
They do, a couple shows or what have you here. And then I believe that's the end of it, right? She's going to release this new album. She's probably going to go on vacation while this new album is out. And these songs are coming out. They're going to be played all over the radio. No doubt it's probably going to be in the Billboard's top 10. At least one or a couple of these are going to be number ones, So her name is still out there while she can go ahead and rest, take a vacation, enjoy her downtime, much needed downtime.
Yeah.
And then gear up to do it all over again.
She was at Coachella this past weekend with Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
By the way, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce's brother, future Hall of Famer, says he lost his ring.
Oh, I saw that.
He lost a Super Bowl
Chile.
ring. He lost it in Chile. He says it's in the dump somewhere, wrapped up in a vat of chili that he threw out.
God.
He had mentioned on his podcast before that he never wears it and that he kind of keeps it. And his wife had made mention of the fact that you don't take care of that ring, and now it's gone.
He's probably going to get another one, but
but it's not the real one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lost it in a pot of chili.
Tim Gonzalez coming out and saying that there's a big announcement Tuesday at the Alamo Dome. Usually it's because of a concert.
Yeah, another concert coming through here. You know, we'll see. And you know what other news came out that I've been following here? The news of the lengths that the San Antonio Spurs front office, you know, is going to try to keep the deal or the talks that they've been in talks with the city for quite some time about that space over at the Institute of Texas Cultures.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want any of that information to be made public.
Right.
They want to keep it all hush hush. And the writer from the San Antonio Express News, because of the freely available
Freedom of Information Act,
you know, they're trying to go ahead and kind of nullify all that by going to a court, you know, trying to get a court order out to keep all that information private.
Yeah, no, if tax dollars are involved, and I'm not against that. Tax dollars should be involved. I made mention yesterday that if we lose the Spurs,
yeah,
honestly, I have no reason to be in San Antonio.
Really?
I mean, I have friends and family here, but really that's the fun part of being in the city. We don't have the Spurs, and we look at all these cities that have lost teams. I'm not saying that we are anymore.
Yeah.
But it takes public funding. We would be McAllen. We would be Laredo without the Spurs.
We have the Riverwalk.
Who cares?
You know, but I'm just saying.
When was the last time we went to the Riverwalk?
Yeah, exactly.
I go to Spurs games more often than I go to the Riverwalk.
Yeah, I don't really go there. It's a tourist trap. You know, I mean, I go on occasion just to check it out with the family. But nonetheless, if the Spurs and let's say the revitalization of downtown needs to occur and move towards the vision that the city council has for the revitalization of downtown, you need to start bringing your professional sports team, the only one that you have in town, you need to put it more in a central location.
Front and center.
Because once you put that team right there with that new arena, all this, let's say, construction, revitalization, all these businesses and hotels and restaurants and whatnot will mean a little bit more. And they're going to start building around that. And the other thing is, why not go ahead and bring the missions from where they're at right now all the way over here on the other side of Old Highway 90 where they're shit there.
Do it the other side of the freeway. Tell Bill Millers to
kindly move
out. Get that area over there.
I mean, that would be great, dude.
And put bridges to connect.
Make it easy to get there. Yeah, man.
I think the San Antonio downtown will look so much different.
Yeah.
10 years from now. Murdo Cavassa says, actually, it was Rudy Gonzalez saying shots fired at RGV.
I got nothing against RGV, man.
Hey, man, nothing against you guys in Taco Palenque, but for those of you from the RGV, you guys are nodding, right? You guys are nodding. You're nodding.
This took a turn, bro.
I got to take off and get back to work. Everyone have a fantastic day today. Again, hit the like button on the way out the door. And if you want to buy us a coffee, keep the show going. QR code on the top left. Everyone have a fantastic day. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Happy Fiesta, everybody.
We'll see you all tomorrow. We're out. Peace.